this involuntary or this manslaughter case that they was trying to put on Melly was not the case that that the prosecution presented, y'all. At all. Even everything that I know, like I said, when I was going through my situation, one of the things I was taught, one of the things I read, this is law, that in order to find somebody guilty of murder, you have to have intent, you have to have motive, and you have to have opportunity. Now, in YNW Melly case, if you apply this to their case, they didn't have motive, they had opportunity, and they really wasn't strong on the intent. Why did he do this? You understand? Why did he do it? The prosecution couldn't put their finger on. They just threw a whole bunch of scenarios out there and just was hoping something stick, yo. And that's not an adequate prosecution when you're trying to sentence somebody to life or death in prison. So though they're painting this juror out like she was the bad guy, nah, she really saved the day. She really stopped YNW Melly from being another victim of the system, being railroaded, another black male being railroaded in the system. Yo, what's up, people? We is back. Another day on Keep It G News. And then we talking about YNW Melly case. We got a breaking news, a break in the case. We know what was going on with juror number 7. Now, a month ago, I did a video, and that was the video y'all just watched in the beginning when I talked about this juror because another juror spoke out. I think it was juror number 10. They tried to make people believe that juror number 7 intent was to find Melly not guilty all along. In fact, she persuaded 2 other jurors to find him not guilty, and that's what led to a hung juror. But today, we hear from the juror, and I ain't seen this nowhere else on YouTube. So if you start seeing videos pop up and now give me credit, tag my name in it. You understand? But I told y'all back then, she really saved the day. She really saved the day. It was painting out to be this bad person. Like her intent was to get him off the whole time, like she was sort of almost like a plant. That's not really was, man. She went by the law to a T. She didn't add nothing extra or take nothing out. And that's what you want from jurors. You know, you don't need jurors going off their own assumptions. You want them just basing the evidence or getting a conviction off the evidence given during the trial. And that's what she did in this situation, yo. So I ain't gonna hold y'all up, man. I want y'all to hear from juror number 7. YNW Melly was framed is the only explanation that makes sense considering the evidence, the lack of evidence, and the conflicts in the evidence, according to the holdout juror whose commitment to not guilty verdict led to a hung jury and a mistrial for Jamel YNW Melly Demons in July. In her first interview since July deliberations ended, juror number 7, who asked not to be named of concern for public response, said she was able to convince 2 other jurors to vote against conviction, leading to 9-3 deadlock. I believe that he didn't do it and it wasn't proved in court, said the Fort Lauderdale resident. This was a really bad situation of being framed. Melly was a very good person. He always tried to help people around him. Demons was a rising star in the rap world when he was accused of subtly shooting 2 of his friends to death in October 2018. Christopher YNW Thomas and Anthony YNW Sack Chaser Williams were shot to death inside a Jeep driven by their friend Cortland YNW Bortland Henry. Prosecutors say Demons was seated behind Henry after an overnight recording session in Fort Lauderdale early in October 26, 2018. According to the state, Henry and Demons tried to make it look like their friends were the victims of a drive-by shooting in Melmar. But elements of that story made no sense to investigators. The shots fired at Henry's vehicle came from outside the car. The shots that killed Williams and Thomas came from inside. But missing piece of information left room for the jurors to doubt. Henry, Demons, Williams, and Thomas were seen on surveillance footage leaving a studio near downtown Fort Lauderdale after a late-night recording session. Demons was seated behind the driver, and forensic experts said that is where the gunman who killed the victims was sitting. Phone records showed Demons' phones never left the car during the time in question. But there was enough time after the recording session for Demons to leave the car and for someone else to come in, the juror said. The weapon used to commit the crime was never recovered. Could it have been someone else? For the holdout juror, doubt was more than reasonable. Between them leaving the recording studio and the phone pinging in the Everglades, anything could have happened, she said. In the jury room, most wanted to convict, she said. The prosecution insistence that there was some kind of gang activity that explained why Demings would suddenly kill his friends carried a lot of weight with most jurors. Others read it as racial profiling. This was not a matter of fact, but a matter of race, she said. Demings, Henry, and the victims are all black. The lead police investigator and lead prosecutors were white. The juror holdout, who was black, said she felt the gang connection was tenuous. Prosecutors pointed to text messages that made it appear Demings was having an argument with the victims over creative credit and compensation for their work. Those messages, the juror said, may not have come from Demings. I wasn't there, but I believe he was being framed based on the text messages, he said. Demings faces the possibility of execution if he's convicted. His retrial was scheduled to begin next month. Miramar police said they're looking into allegations that their lead investigator, Mark Murata, used excessive force in recovering evidence from Demings' mother, Jamie Kane. The alleged incident took place in October 2022, but the complaint against Murata was not filed until July 2023. The state's attorney's office, which is prosecuting the case, did not offer a comment on the case. Demings is being held without bail in the Broward, Maine jail. Defense lawyers have asked for the judge to set a bail while he awaits retrial. A bond hearing is tentatively scheduled for later this month, and jury selection is set to begin October 9th. Now, I'm going to keep it all the way 100, man. When she started going into the things he was doing for the community, he was a good guy, and that sounded like a fan to me. But everything else she said goes right along with what I was saying from the beginning, man. The prosecution didn't put on a strong case for a conviction. They didn't. And then once the case got to the jury hands, they had 9 people trying to convict this man of manslaughter with a deadly weapon when that's not what the trial was about. And I told y'all, go back and watch that video I did when I spoke on this case, and I said YNW MELLY case was first degree murder or nothing. That's what it was. That's what the prosecution presented. That's what the evidence spoke to and everything. So it was no way that they should have ever got to a 9-3 guilty verdict on manslaughter with a deadly weapon, y'all, because that wasn't the case. And I'm glad this woman stood strong, man, and she prevented YNW MELLY from being railroaded. Salute to her, man. Now, he still haven't got no bail, and his trial was scheduled later on. I think it's in October sometime, October 9th. And I told y'all, I think it can be a jury that can convict him with this evidence. I think so. But it's 50-50. They can also find him not guilty. We're going to see how it all play out. But I just wanted to say this. They'll put this video out to show y'all, like, man, you know what I be talking about, man. Like, this not speculatory blogging. Not when it come down to these type of trials. I told y'all. And I ain't going, you know, man. I've been through it a few times. I know what to look for. And as I was watching this case, it was too many inconsistencies for them to find him guilty. It was too many. Even when she spoke on about the car, I said that in one of my previous videos. The thing that saved Melly was the same thing that hurt him. He was on video getting in the car. But in that video leaving from the studio, it was 2 cars. In one car, we seen on video go to his house. And they couldn't say for certain if Melly was in that car or not. That's room for doubt. That is reasonable doubt. And in order to convict somebody on a first-degree murder case that's carried a death penalty, you gotta eliminate that. And I don't think the prosecution did a good job of doing that. But let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments. How do y'all feel about juror number 7 now? We heard juror number 10 badmouth this person, badmouth this black woman. But how do y'all feel about her now? Do y'all understand her reasoning? Or do y'all still think it was something else going on? Let me know in the comments, man. Let's keep it G News.
Nigga can't do what I do, y'all niggas can't copy me. Let's keep shit G. Let's keep shit G. Let's keep the shit G. Let's keep shit G. Let's keep shit G.